Keshav Bhajanka, Executive Director with Century Plyboards joins us now. Keshav, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Is there a slowdown in the home improvement or the home care segment, because the indications or the indicators what we are getting from a plywood company or for a tile company or from a bathroom fitting company is that dhanda manda hai? Keshav, is my voice reaching you? Hi, Keshav, is my voice reaching you?
Okay, unfortunately we're just going to try and reconnect with Keshav with a bit of a technical error, perils of live television I suppose. But like Pankaj was talking about, you know, on account of the commentary coming in from Shankara Bilkon, which itself has taken quite a knock in the last 1 month, in the last 1 year, we have seen a lot of these home improvement companies as well correct, and I think it would be best to, you know, get CenturyPly, HSIL itself to answer whether or not they are seeing a slowdown in demand, whether they are seeing a slowdown in growth, and we're just going to try to reconnect with them. But yeah, if we have to just encapsulate what happened in the second quarter for these companies, undoubtedly a weak quarter. We already have demand issues, but additionally we also are hit on account of the higher input costs. So whether it is energy prices, which was again you know, made worse on account of the depreciation in the Indian rupee, all of that has hit the industry. And additionally, we're also seeing some price erosion combined tiles in the MDF segment. The question I would also like to add over here, and the point I would like to add over here is that since the GST implementation, the point was that perhaps these companies would be able to benefit on account of the fact that, hey, they are in the organized space and most of these sectors do have a dominant presence of the unorganized players in this market. So whether they would be able to capture some of that market share. There wasn't a very you know, significant shift in the market share, but again, the focus then shifted to the implementation of the e-way bill, which would definitely smoothen things. But yeah, let's discuss this entire talk about a slowdown in growth with our management. I hope we've been able to solve the audio issue. Okay, Keshav Bhajanka is back with us on the phone line. And Keshav, first up, help our viewers understand. There's this entire talk about a fear of a slowdown, about the weak performance by building material companies. So help understand what the on-ground situation is. Are you indeed seeing a bit of a slowdown in demand?
You see, I would not say there's a slowdown in demand. After GST, even though the implementation of GST has not been very robust, we have been seeing a growth in demand on the ground. Particularly in our plywood segment, we have seen numbers going up. When it comes to laminates or MDF, there has been a little bit of overcapacity created in the market. And because of this, prices and demand have been under pressure. This, together with the increasing raw material costs in laminates, has led to lower margins. But I don't see the problem as demand on the ground. The problem is the excess capacity that has been created and that is taking time to be absorbed in these markets.
Right. Okay. Keshav, give us a sense on how you're going to be viewing performance going forward. Q2 was negatively impacted because of high costs. Has the industry taken price hikes?
Yes. If you look at products like laminates, we have taken substantial price hikes. Over the course of the past year, I think we have taken an 8.5% price increase, the latest of which was implemented on the 1st of November. So this should definitely help improve our margins going forward. Also, the rupee looks a little more stable, which should add on to the margins. As you know, last quarter we were negatively impacted by the forex fluctuations. When you look at a segment like MDF, we had seen substantial price cuts because there was overcapacity in the market. But I don't see any further cuts going forward. I think that today, with volume utilization, with capacity utilization increasing, we should see higher margins in MDF for the next quarter as well.
Okay. Keshav, let's talk about the festive season which just went by, you know, especially in the run-up to the festive season, Diwali, etc., when people do indulge in revamping their homes, in renovating their homes. How was the season like? What was demand for you like?
Demand was fairly good.
Okay.
October was a very good month for us. However, November was a little slow. Last year, if you recollect, both Diwali and Durga Puja being very big in the east, both these impacts were felt by us in the month of October itself. This year it is split in two parts, but overall, I think that this quarter should look much better. I think we should have double-digit growth in all our segments in the current quarter.
Okay. What do you think has been the impact of tightening of credit by NBFCs for businesses such as yourself?
That has created an issue, particularly with some of our larger dealers, because for them funding has become a big challenge. But in the case of Century, we are very, very tight on credit control. So we have been able to face this without any increase in debtor days. However, this does impact demand of the market. I believe demand would have been higher if this challenge had not, if this challenge wasn't there.
Okay. And how has the depreciation of the currency impacted the expenses for the company?
We are net importers and we do not hedge our liabilities. So as such, last quarter, we had a massive hit because of Forex. However, this quarter, we have taken certain actions, which include hedging a part of our total exposure. And with the dollar weakening, I think overall we'll be beneficiaries in this quarter.
All right. Keshav, just one last question from my side. And I was just alluding to the fact that post-GST, everyone was expecting this radical shift, from the unorganized to the organized. It didn't happen in the way perhaps many were expecting. But then we had the implementation of the e-way bill. It's been about 5 to 6 odd months since the same. How have things changed?
You see, last year or whenever we have spoken in the past, I was very, very bullish on the implementation of the GST and on the e-way bill. However, to ensure compliance, we need to be, the government needs to ensure that anybody who is trying to bypass the system is negatively hit or, their penalties are placed. I don't think the government has been robust at all with regards to the implementation. As such, I think that going forward, if the government is more robust or if the government is more strict with the implementation of both of these, the GST and the e-way bill, we should benefit. But as of now, that is not what we are seeing.
Keshav, thanks very much for joining us and giving us your perspective on this issue.